Welcome to the Get Your Life Together Girl podcast, the ultimate blueprint to self-love and inner peace. I'm your host, Danielle Van. As a cognitive behavioral therapist, life coach, meditation teacher, and author, it's my passion and goal to help you shift your mindset and create a lifelong revolution. We are continuing our 4-week journey into key questions that help guide you into a more fulfilling life. So far, we have covered some incredible ground answering the question, what do I want? What do I need? And today, we're going to answer, how do I want to feel? It is the most important question of them all. Because obviously at first glance, many will answer, I want to feel good, happy, positive, and joyful. But this question goes much deeper than any surface level emotion. It's about exploring, why do you want to feel that way? And perhaps more importantly, understanding what might be standing in your way. So by the end of today's one-on-one deep dive, we're going to break down how to identify the emotions you want to feel the most every single day. And we're going to create a plan how to get there. So let's dive right in. The Get Your Life Together Girl podcast starts right now. I have to tell you, I love you guys so very much. I truly mean that. The emails that I have gotten over these last 2 episodes have almost surpassed the amount of emails and conversations that have been had for the entire 2024 season of this podcast, which means 52 episodes. It's been quite incredible. It's so interesting to hear your thoughts, to hear you say, wow, I didn't realize that I needed to shift a little bit more. I've been thinking, and this is what I've come up with. What's your thoughts? I am still working through literally over 1,000 emails. It is my goal to answer all of you, but you're going to have to give me some time. I have been incredibly honored as we move through this space, and what we need to work on now is, how do you want to feel, so that we can bring all of these questions and all of these answers to a head and give you this roadmap to start 2025 with. It's so easy to say, I want to lose weight. I want to buy a new house. I want to really impact a relationship, or I want to start a relationship. Those things seem so easy to toss out there. It's the experience of knowing what you truly deep down desire and want, what you truly need, and how you truly feel that can set the course for the most impeccable season of your life. And that is exactly where we want to put our focus on. So let's talk about what it means to feel, right? We've done so many episodes, so many conversations about how we want to feel and what our emotions really mean. So we're not going to dive into that, but what we are going to dive into is the desire to feel good. So I want you to take a moment to reflect. What is your current emotional state right now? When you think about your day-to-day feelings, what words come to mind? Is it content? Is it stressed? Is it fulfilled, anxious, annoyed, frustrated, joyful, neutral, or something else entirely? Often, when we think about how we want to feel, we instinctively say good, happy, positive. We imply that our lives should have some sense of well-being and joy. And of course it should. We've talked about in the last 2 episodes that no one ever prioritizes the bad things. We don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm going to plan for the worst case scenario today. That only comes when we're in these life intersections, right? And we are thinking about the fact that something bad may happen based on a circumstance. But we don't necessarily get up in the morning and say, you know what? I really want to feel terrible today. But here's the deal. Those emotions, right? Good, happy, positive, while they are wonderful and most certainly what I want you to feel, they are surface level. They don't really get to the point of what you're seeking. The question you have to ask yourself when you have the understanding of what you want, good, happy, positive, is why do I want to feel this way? That helps us get to the root of what does happiness and goodness and positivity give to you that you feel you need in your life. I have a few more questions that you can ask yourself as well. Those questions are, do I want to feel joy because it's going to help me better connect with others? Is it because I want to feel, free of stress or free of fear? Am I chasing happiness because it brings me a sense of purpose or a sense of meaning? These underlying emotions that you seek, whether it's joy, peace, love, contentment, often are deep motivators. Think about that. Deep motivators. The reason why I want to feel this certain way. I want to lose weight so that I can feel good in my skin. I want a new job because I want to feel productive, like I'm adding something to the environment, the world around me. I want to feel like I'm adding to something greater than myself. These are deep motivations. And once you're clear on the why behind your desire, you have a much clearer map on how you want to get there. But let's not stop there, because the next important question is, what is stopping you from feeling the way that you want to? This is so important because a lot of times people will say, I want to feel good. I want to feel happy. And when I say, I do you feel that way? I often get sometimes, not at all. Yeah, kind of. I'm working on it, right? It's never a clear cut yes. Can you give a resounding yes in your life? And if you can't, what is stopping you from feeling that way right now? Like holistically, wholly, in a way that it covers and is a blanket for your entire life. Do you have your life together enough that you can say, even though there may be a little storm brewing over here on the sideline of my life, I feel pretty happy. And if not, we need to identify what's blocking you. Now, you know about how you're feeling, but think about your current emotional landscape. What's standing in the way of you feeling that way? Is it external circumstances? Things like your job, relationships, or even your financial struggles. There's something that I personally learned, and it's that I cannot be poorly surrounded and feel happy or feel my best. And what poorly surrounded really means is I can't have people in my life that are horrible distractions. I can't have people in my life that require more of me than they're willing to give in return. I can't have people who gossip and tear me down. That is called being poorly surrounded. Are you poorly surrounded? Are you poorly surrounded in your job, in your relationship? Are you poorly surrounding yourself financially? Because you can do it to yourself too, right? Not showing up means that you're poorly surrounding the events, the circumstances of your life. The other question is it internal? Do you have internal resistance? Things like self-doubt and fear and limiting beliefs. What about a lack of balance? Maybe you're stretched too thin, constantly reacting to life's demands rather than proactively choosing your emotional state. So take a moment to really consider what might be preventing you from embodying that desired state of emotion. Sometimes we don't even realize that we're carrying so much, whether it's emotional baggage or the weight of our responsibilities, that we are being drained, or you might be trapped in negative thought cycles that have become so resistant to being moved out of your way that you are having a hard time breaking out of it. Understanding what's holding you back is the first step of dismantling the bars and the walls that show up when we're talking about our feelings. So let me give you the first exercise, okay? I want you to take a pen and paper and I want you to get busy. I want you to think about your current emotional challenges and let your pen do the talking. What are your main obstacles that are keeping you from feeling that desired emotion? Is it a pattern? Is it a person? Is it a situation that you're unwilling to let go of? Is it that you're poorly surrounded? Is it the job, the relationship, right? What is it? Write it down and do so with no judgment. If emotions arise within you, write them down. That's okay. Remember, our emotions are impulses. They are energy that are working to be direction guiders for us. And we need to learn to listen to them. Pushing them away doesn't mean that we resolve the feeling. It means that we delay the moment. Oof. Hear that again. Just because you push something to the side doesn't mean that you push it away. You delay the moment. Are you really wanting to spend your life delaying what is going to allow you to get to how you want to feel? I'm not going to. I hope that you're not going to. And the next piece that we really want to get to is learning what you want to let go of and what you want to increase. So often when we're working on knowing what we want, knowing what we need, we think about what we need to remove. We don't have to burn our lives down. I don't know how many people I've said that to, literally thousands. I don't know how many times I've said it here among each other's company, but I will say it again. You do not need to burn your life down in order to create what you want. You can let go and replace. You don't have to bring everything to the state of chaos and then try to repair it, because guess what? You still took you with you, right? So the problems that you have often come down to the fact that you can't run from what you're trying to change. So know that. What can I let go of and what can I increase? Now that you've identified some of those blockers, right? You've done the journaling exercise, or even maybe you just shifted through them in your head. It's time to shift your gears a bit. And you have to ask yourself the question, what can I increase? And what can I let go of to create more space for the emotions that I want to feel? That last part is the most important. What can I let go of, or what can I increase to allow more space for the emotions that I'm trying to get to? Here, I'm talking about the patterns and the habits and the choices that either help you or hinder you in feeling the way that you want to, that help or hinder the life that you're trying to cultivate. So I want you to think about the let go factor. Are there things in your life that are draining you emotionally? Are they preventing you from feeling how you want to feel? Are they the energy vampire that comes in and sucks the life out of you? Some of the biggest things that we don't even recognize that are big energy suckers and drainers is negative self-talk. If I'm talking terribly to myself the entire existence of, 5 weeks, how do you think I'm going to feel? If I spend all my time trying to get to a perfect moment and accelerating perfectionism, do you think that I'm actually feeling my best? Of course I'm not. I'm spending so much time trying to get something right and make it perfect that I emotionally exhaust myself. Perfectionism does not have a beautiful payoff, right? Because there's so much stress and worry and frustration involved in getting to perfect. Unhealthy relationships, toxic environments, they drain you. This is a big one, and it's something that I had to learn to let go of. And I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes I can still get into this. You may be the same. It's the constant need to be busy that takes us away from relaxation and personal time and often has us deflecting our emotions. And if we're in that space, we're not fully leaning in. We're not able to get to that true sense that we are looking for. Now, let's talk about what we can increase. Maybe it's practicing gratitude more regularly, getting up in the morning and instead of immediately getting on a device or thinking about our to-do list, we can just stop and be present. Thank you for this opportunity, for this day. Thank you for waking up healthy. Thank you for waking up in a house full of the people that I love or with the experience that I get to create today. Practicing gratitude is such a beautiful way to increase your emotional health. Maybe it's engaging in activities that bring you joy, your habits, your hobbies, your exercise, whatever it is. Maybe you need to increase your positive relationships. Connection is one thing that can either bring us down or create a sense of belonging and increase our health emotionally. Maybe you need to develop mindfulness or increase the practices that you use to help you get into that space of presence and center. Maybe it's meditation. I recently had an MRI, and it's because I was having some headaches. And one of the things that I saw in the report was that they were grading my brain structure and age. And I thought, wow, that's really amazing. And I began to read it. And as I'm looking at what they rated my brain age, I'm in my mid-40s, they said that my brain was 10 years younger than my actual age. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. Look at what a constant meditation practice and breathing exercises and learning can do for my brain. That emotionally supports where I want to go. So can you think about what you can increase? Like, are you ready to bring your brain's age down? That's so amazing to me. And now I want you to reflect on this. What small, intentional shifts can you make today, and then tomorrow, and this week, and next month, and 6 months from now, and in 2025 that are going to increase you positively? And what can you let go of that's pulling you under? I don't need this to be huge. In fact, I want you to make small adjustments because those have the biggest impact, and they are most likely to be sustainable. It's when we throw everything at one thing, right? I'm going to lose 70 pounds, whatever it is, that we begin to struggle. But instead, I want you to think about what is sustainable for you. And when you have that answer, I want you to create a sustainable emotional plan. Now, next week, we're going to be tying everything together and creating one full plan of how do I get there based on our needs, our wants, and our feelings. But we can also look at an emotional plan and break everything down that way. This is really important too as we are moving through the holiday season because it also allows you to be present in the day-to-day. It allows you not to get caught up in the outside storms or stress or doing or experiences, but instead it allows you to be present, to take your action through a grounded experience. But let's create the plan, right? So with the insights that you've gathered so far, you're pulling yourself into that action phase, right? So how can we start creating a plan to feel the way you want to feel consistently? That is the biggest word, consistently. Not here and there, right? Because if I ask you to rate how your happiness really is when we're talking about, say, a 7-day period, I would ask you, on Monday, could you rate your experience at a 10 all day long? Of course not, right? So we want to be in a space that's a little bit more consistent regardless of what happens. And the first way we do that is to look at our intentions. Intention setting is a powerful tool for shifting our emotional experiences. There's a difference between setting an intention that is sustainable and one that is unrealistic. So what do you want? right? To create a plan that works for you, ask yourself these questions. What do I want to feel more of daily? And I want you to be specific. I don't want just happiness or joyful or whatever that comes to mind. I want it to be more narrowed in your focus. So maybe you want to feel more calm. Maybe you want to be more peaceful. Perhaps you want to be more energized or energetic. Whatever it is, I want you to be very narrow in your focus. And then ask that question again, why do I want to feel this way? Because if you have a more targeted feeling, a little bit more succinct, other than just this big umbrella, we need to know the why again. Why does this thing help you connect to your intention and that deeper motivation? So get to that answer. And how can I make this emotion a consistent part of my daily life? This might mean that you start your day with an intention like, today I choose peace, or setting reminders throughout the day to pause and connect with your emotional goal, or creating that space for meditation, or making sure that you're journaling, or you're talking to a therapist, or you're doing whatever work you need to do. Now, let's talk for just a second about long-term goals, because it's easy to get caught up in these short bursts of inspirations. It's called a New Year's resolution, right? I like to always say you resolve to do something during the new year period. And after about 30 days, that new wears off. But if we talk about true transformation requires creating a plan that fits into your daily lifestyle in a sustainable way, that means that you need to do small, manageable actions and tasks each day. Maybe what you want to feel is more relaxed or more at peace. So your plan that you're creating may mean that you're incorporating 5 to 10 minutes each morning of breath work and meditation. That's sustainable. Most people have 5 to 10 minutes, right? Not everyone has a huge amount of time, but 10 minutes is usually something that you can get to. And say if you want to feel more joyful, maybe it's committing to doing something you love each week, like spending time with friends or that, creative pursuit, whatever it may be. But make sure your goals are realistic. If they're too big, they're too vague, you're going to get discouraged and you're going to not lean into these deeper motivations. And you have to be kind to yourself. You have to have self-compassion on your journey. When we do not have self-compassion, it's easy also to become derailed. If I say I want to feel my best, but then I'm over here creating negative conversations and not showing up and belittling myself because I couldn't do that one thing again, I'm not creating space that feels good. So we want to take small, sustainable steps that lead to progress. Feeling is important. Your emotions are important. Knowing why you want to feel the way that you keep saying is even greater. That has the highest importance because that's where you get the understanding, the evidence of what it can do for you in your life. Throwing out a goal of happiness is great. Not saying I don't want you to have that goal, but I also want you to have motivation to create happiness. Are you really happy if you just say, I want to be happy? Does it give you enough support, enough evidence, enough information to create that? Generally, the answer is no. Yes, I want your focus to be on all the great emotions, but I also want you to understand that day to day, we're going to have a roller coaster ride of our emotions, and that's healthy and that's good. The most important part is, can you bring yourself back to center? And if you're feeling a way that is not supporting your overall goal, whatever that is, calm, peace, happiness, whatever, can you shift yourself back from there to why you want to be in that space. That's what this question is really meant to do, is to provide you with enough evidence, enough understanding that you know why you want to feel the way that you do, and it allows you to set the intention and create the action. What do you want to feel? So now you know what you want, what you need, and how you want to feel. Next week, we're pulling it all together with the question, how do I get there? Begin to focus on your emotions. Begin to take action through your emotions. Be healthy in the way that you show up. Because when you do, you tend to find that your life is truly together. And that is the essential step into fully living a life that's together. Thank you so much for listening to the Get Your Life Together Girl podcast. If you've enjoyed these tips for bettering your life, please follow me on social media if you're not already. I Get Your Life Together Girl on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Clapper, Threads, Insight Timer, and Pinterest. You can also check out a myriad of different blogs and different learning opportunities on my website, getyourlifetogethergirl.com. If you have any suggestions or have any questions, feel free to email us at getyourlifetogethergirlnow@gmail.com. I can't thank you for being such a fabulous part of this community. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others.